Right, ladies and gents, no ball required, just brain this morning, which might be a struggle. So come into your set position when you're ready with your feet under your hips, pulling up through the crown of the head, tuck in the chin, tuck under with the bottom, and just gently pull in with the tummy. So you've got perfect posture to begin with. When you're ready, just find some nice easy shoulder circles. So just pulling the shoulders up towards the ears. Reaching the hands down towards the knees, and if you want to keep the circles small, keep them small, or make them a little bit bigger. Crossing the hands just in front of the head, pulling the elbows into the ribs, and pulling your shoulders down away from your ears. And as you pull the shoulders down, keep pulling the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Adding a little heel raise if you want to get the calves warming up. So just pressing through the balls of the feet, trying to keep the knees nice and soft. So it just creates a little bit more instability and makes things work a little bit harder for stability. Stopping the arms at shoulder level and take a little side step and pull back into centre. So I want to start feeling a stretch in the left inner thigh. So keep your left foot facing forwards and keep it pressed down to the floor, and then start to push the hips back a little further behind your heels so you get a little bit more stretch. Maybe into the hamstrings, maybe into the inner thighs. Breathe in as you stride across, and then breathe out, pulling up tall. A couple more on this side. Little breath in, out breath with the lift, and hold in centre. Step forward, taking a twist to your right, and then back to the centre. Same side, just a step and a twist. So as you step forward, sitting the weight firmly into the heel. Letting that back heel lift. And try and let most of your body weight come forward into your front foot. And then give your bottom a squeeze just before you twist. That should help keep the hips nice and still. As you lift the hands, keep the shoulders relaxed, just down away from the ears. And then keep pulling the head up towards the ceiling. So you've got that nice length into the spine and all the way through. And just once more here. Same leg, we're going to step back. So nice long step back with your right leg, lift the arms, circle the arms and step in. So either stepping or lunging. So small step if you prefer, or easing down to the back knee, gently tucking under with the tailbone, so you get a little stretch into the hip flexor as we stride back. Try not to leave your shoulders forwards. Keep the length in the spine and take the shoulders all the way back with the hips. And you can feel there's more push required out of the front heel as you step forwards. Get a little in breath, strong out breath, 2 to go. And then we're going to step back again and we're going to keep the foot back. So holding the hands down towards your thighs, hold on to the hips if you prefer, a little push into the back heel, and a little push off your front heel. So we want to find a calf stretch in the right leg. So you come onto the ball of the foot and then press the heel back to the floor. But to feel the calf stretch, you need to keep that front knee forward. Don't let that knee pull back. So you push into the heel and pushing forward with the knee at the same time. Strong push through the heel, so start to feel the work into the glutes as we rise. Couple more here, and then step in and feet down. Now to cross the hands, tuck in the chin, and then open the arms and open the chest. Let the chin just nod in towards the chest, and let your eye gaze come up towards the ceiling. If you want to make it bigger, you can let a little bit of rounding come through the upper back, but keep softly drawing the tailbone down so the hips don't push back. The hips stay nice and still. And again, if you want to bring your calves in, lift the heels. Breathing in, breathing out to open. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. And trying to keep balanced, especially with that heel raise. And a couple more here. A little breath in, touch the outside of the thighs or the knees. And one more time. And then holding. Hands come palms down. And when you're ready, stepping over to the left and back into the centre. So we're trying to do all that sequence again on this side. I just need to remember what I did. Pushing back with the hips. Nice straight right leg. And again, keep that length all the way up the spine. And when you rise, pulling up through the crown of the head. And keep your shoulders drop down, so they stay nice and relaxed and away from the ears. As you open the arms, try not to push the rib cage forward. Try and keep the ribs slightly down, and then you'll feel a little bit more stretch into the shoulders. Once more, same leg, stepping forwards. So a small step, big twist, and a big push back. So all your body weight moves forward. And again, let the head turn, so you keep the length into the neck. Feel your chest turns, but then just check your hips, they're still. So it helps to just squeeze the bottom again just before you rotate. And then so you can take a bit more weight into that front heel. Trying to make that back foot a little bit lighter. So again, we'll start having to use some deeper muscles for balance and stability as we rotate. Again, as the arms lift, just let the shoulders drop down away from the ears. And once more. Small step or a lunge backwards. Same leg, right leg. Left leg, sorry. It's my right leg. You can make allowances for me this week. There's no excuse for the other weeks. Again, keep looking forwards. Tuck the tailbone, just feel stretch down the front of the thigh or the front of the hip. Really stretch up into the fingertips. Little breath in as you stride. Nice big out breath as you push forwards. Again, try not to let the ribs flare as you lift the arms. So we're still keeping our spine in a nice, strong, neutral position. 2 to go. One more circle. And then step back and stay back. So nice long stride back. Hinge forward, hold the hips if you prefer. Keep the knee over the heel. And just slowly press your back heel to the floor. And again, try not to let this knee move back because you'll lose the stretch into the calf. So as you push that knee forward, you've got a deeper stretch coming into the calf. And as you rise, push out the front heel. So we're activating the right buttock. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Slow breath, strong breath. When you rise, don't lock out the knee, keep it slightly soft. So we're still using some muscles for balance, as well as stability and power as we push ourselves forward. 2 to go. And then your last one, and hold in the centre. Coming to squats. Feet just outside the hips, and let's circle with the squats. So we come down into a squat, reach the arms up, circle them and pull them back to the thighs. So as you squat, gently push out the knees. But when you push out the knees, try not to roll onto the outside of the foot. So you're still trying to keep the feet flat. So when we push out the knees, we're pushing out from the hips. That's going to bring a little bit more connection through the outer thighs. And then you can have a glance and just check your knees. Track in line with the toes. Now hips never go any deeper than the knee line. So you can stop just above the knees. Big push up through the heels. Big breath in. And a strong breath out. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Feeling the shoulder blades pulling right down into the back of the rib cage. And again, twice more. And your last one, and rest. Right, grab a weight, just need the one this morning. We're going to keep stepping, and we're going to work into the upper back. Now to make sure we keep the work into the back of the shoulder, you've got to make sure we tip forward. So feet hip distance, lift your right heel, step back and hinge forward, and then pull and tap your foot. So right leg again, step back, row, and step in. Try not to put any weight onto your right foot as you step back. When we hinge forward, belly in, so your core stays braced, and again maintain this nice alignment through the spine. At no time do we lock out the left knee, so it's bent here, and we'll keep that softness in the knee as we step forward. If you want more for the back of the shoulder, You can bring the arm out to the side and then step in. So don't rush. Hinge first and brace your core. Keep the weight in the heel and then push through the heel to come forwards. As you lift the arm, keep the elbow nice and soft and squeeze the shoulder blade in. And again, the breath in, out, in, twice more. Always keeping the feet hip distance apart as you step back, help your base. And then from here, keeping the weight in the right hand, stepping over to your left. Weight down towards the inside of the thigh and bring it up to 90 degrees. Again, option, just a small step across and pulling back, or really pushing back into the hips and finding that inner thigh or hamstring stretch as you push the bottom back. Now when the weight comes forward, don't let the back collapse. We're trying to use all the muscles through the back of the body, maintain a neutral spine, because the weight wants to pull the shoulder forward, but you can keep that shoulder held back in line with the ear. Breathe in, slowly sitting back, breathe out, pulling up tall. In through the nose, core strong the whole time, and again, 2 more across. Your last one. And then bring the weight down, step your left foot wide, right foot to the diagonal, hip to the right, left, and then come into your side bend. So try not to let the hips now or the legs move. You're trying to lift your ribs away from the hips, but you're also trying to keep the spine really long. Sometimes it's easier to go further by bending the back. Imagine you've still got a pole stuck up the back of your t-shirt. Then you can turn your eye gaze up towards your hands, just to feel a little bit more stretch into the waist. And making sure you bring your eye gaze to the front as you rise. Relaxing the right shoulder. Breathing in to ease down, out on the way up. Slow breath, breathe out through the mouth to rise. And as you're rising, pull the elbow and the shoulder blade down to the back of the ribs. And just one more on this side. And let's change sides. Bring it into your left hand. So feet hip distance. Lift your left heel so your left foot's light. And just bend the knees a little so you've not got the legs locked. Hinge forward. Pull the elbow towards the ribs. And then step in. Again, see how light you can keep your left foot as you step forward again. Maybe just a small step. Or maybe a little bit more of a stride, but not a lunge. Save the lunges for later. And just be aware of your right knee. You might want to pull it in, pull the knee out from the hip. So the kneecap itself always stays pointing forward and it's not trying to tilt over to the left. And again, that makes sure you're working the outer thigh, stabilise the hip, and the knees remove. And if you're happy that's staying where it's supposed to, you can bring the arm out to the side. And again, make sure you lean forward to get into the back of the shoulder. So when you lift the arm, you feel the shoulder blade squeezing in, and the palm stays facing down towards the ground. And it never comes any higher than the shoulder. Just as you lift the arm, draw the abdominals in. So again, as you're moving the arm, trunk of the body, long and still. Couple more here. Should be also starting to feel your right buttock as you push down through the heel and get those hips back under the shoulders. And then hold. Weight to the front of the thigh, step across to your right and pull it back to shoulder level. Breathing in. And the weight naturally wants to pull your shoulder and your back forwards. So just go as far as you comfortably can and as slow as you need to. Really focus on keeping the back in neutral position. So we don't want to use the back to lift. So the more we keep our neutral position, the more work we're going to keep in to the back of the shoulder. I changed directions now, I haven't. Breathe in as you stride. Breathe out with a lift. Crown of head again all the way back up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing the left foot down flat into the floor. And then see if you can just hinge the hips a little further back behind the heel, just so you feel a bit more stretch into the legs. One more time. Bring the weight down. Relax that left shoulder. Take the feet wide. Left foot slightly out, but push your left hip forward, so they're square, and then slide them over to the right. When you're ready, breathe in to ease down, breathing out on the way up. So think about how long the spine stays. Keep the hip pushed over the whole time. So your hips are your anchor. And when they're anchored, we've got to use these waist muscles more to pull the ribs back to the hips. If the hips slide in, you get the momentum from the legs. So try not to go as far if the hips are moving. If you want more stretch into the waist, just turn your eye gaze up towards the hand. Again, keeping that left shoulder relaxed as you move. Slow breath in to ease down, out on the way up. Left shoulder relaxed the whole way through. 2 more here. Coming into your last one, and then holding in centre. Keep the feet wide, so the feet just outside the hips. One squat with a rotator at the top. So we need to focus on the hips. Weight just in front of the chest, down into a squat, push forward and turn. Pull it into the chest, push forward and a little turn. So into the chest as you squat, just gently push it away from the chest. As you push the weight forward, don't let the shoulders come forward. You're still holding the shoulders in set position. And as you turn the upper body, that's where we bring the focus into the hips. We give your glutes a squeeze, so when you turn your upper body, the hips stay nice and still. Now the weight always in line with your breastbone. So it keeps the tension at the top of the shoulders. Feel the waist as you turn. But again, if you turn and the hips turn, we've lost that work here in the waist. So I want to stay really firm through the heels and a strong squeeze into the glutes. Really lengthen up through the spine as you rise. Pull it into the breastbone. And you can push the weight out a little further, but keeping the shoulders back in set position. And making it all move, lift and turn, pull back in squats, lift and turn, back into your chest. Don't rush the twist, think about the hips. Think about the knees staying open even when you twist. So you've got more work then through the outer thighs for stability. One last one on each side. And then holding. Weight back into your left hand. Right leg with a lunge and a bicep curl. So when you're ready, we're just going to take a lunge back, take a curl, and then tap in. So weight to shoulder, feet hip distance apart as you strike back, and keeping the foot nice and light as you step forwards. So again, don't leave the shoulders forward. Bring the shoulders all the way back with the hips. Push off the front heel as you rise. And then your next option is, instead of coming forward, tipping from the hips. If you're tipping from the hips, brace your core again as you hinge forward. And don't let the weight swing past your hip. Again, option, stay with the tap. Little squeeze between the shoulder blades. Breathe in as you bend into the back knee. Out breath as you push through that front heel. 2 more tipping forwards. And then stay forward. If you're keeping the foot rested, foot stays down. 1 row and 1 fly. You can try and do it with the foot off the ground. So again, trunk stability strong, she says. Weight in that left heel. Don't let the knee roll in. Keep pulling the knee out gently from the hip. Chin out as it's slightly nodded in. 2 more here. Pulling, reaching. Last time. And then step forward. Changing sides. So right hand, left leg. Set position. Step back. Just into your curl. And tap. So you're not fully putting your left heel back down on the floor. Breathe in. Shoulders above hips. Breathe out, pull up. feels okay, maybe just try and step a little further back. So we're getting more stretch in the hips, and there's more work to do as we push forward, especially if we decide to come into that balance. Now wherever you're working with the bicep, don't let the weight swing past the hip, and try and keep the upper arm nice and still. When you lift the back leg, stretch back into the toes, so it's a nice straight leg each time it lifts. Breathing into lower, out to push forwards. In through the nose, out and brace. 2 left here. And you'll tip forward and hold. Bring the foot down again, either a small step or that step back. Foot on the floor, or lean forward a little further. And just try and hover your back foot an inch or 2 off the ground. Collarbones stay nice and open. So you want to feel that squeeze between the shoulder blades the whole time. Softening your right knee. But again, keeping it open when we move from the hip. Chin in, belly towards back. If you need less, just let that right foot rest lightly onto the ground. Last 2. Keep feeling that shoulder blade squeezing into the spine each time. And then when you finish your last one, you get to step in. Right, let's alternate our squats. Weight to your collarbones, feet hip distance. Step and squat, step in and press. So we can stay with a narrow squat with your feet just outside of your hips. If you're staying narrow, try and keep the toes pointed forwards. If you start to go a little bit wider, you can slightly turn the toes out to a diagonal. The main thing is we're moving and squatting, the knees stay in line with the middle of the foot at the bottom of that squat. Make sure you bend both knees evenly, and then really start to squeeze your inner thighs together as you step in. Again, maybe trying it a little bit wider. So you just have to travel a little bit further. Shoulders down. Keep the chest up the whole time. And don't rush. Feel the knees push out here and then step in. Push out the knees as you lower into the squat. 2 more each way. In through the nose as you squat. Out with the press. Your last one. And hold. Keep the weight up. Step your right foot behind. And just easing in to your triceps. Whew, I feel like I've run a marathon again. Squeeze the elbows in. So start the elbows squeezed in and lower the weight while being focused on keeping the elbows in. Because we'll go lower and the elbows will want to come wider. And then bit by bit, see if you can take the weight a little bit lower, while still keeping the elbows gently drawn towards each other. Tuck in under the tailbone, so that helps keep the length into the lower back. Little lift of the pubic bone, so it keeps the connection into the lower abdominals. And then just softening the front of the ribs down ever so slightly, so it's not letting the back arch as you move. 4 to go. Breathe in, out to extend, into lower, out to push. Your last one, and bring it down. Weight into the left hand. So coming back into your set position, keeping your weight in your left leg. 1 curl, 1 shoulder raise. So biceps and shoulders together. Now when you extend the leg, keep the knee pointing forwards, keeping the weight in the right heel, left heel, just checking, and then lift. So you can do all moves, so just 1 leg lift, pushing out, pulling up, pushing out and pulling up. Option to lift the knee as you come into your bicep curl. So just to hip level, pull up again through the crown of the head. And if you prefer, so you can slow it right down, or again the whole move together, out, in, out, once more. And then resting. So changing arms, changing legs. So we've got stability into the right, definitely the right. Shoulders down, first option. Out to the side, to centre, out to the side and centre. So I want to see your upper body sway when you move your leg. That way we're making sure we're keeping our neutral spine, keeping the crown of the head pulled up to the ceiling. Left knee stays forward as the leg opens. Or again, you can make it all one move, just sweeping the leg out, in. You can even add in that knee lift. Try and keep your shoulders level and really still. So pulling it through the crown of the head. Slightly soft through the right knee. Tummy button through towards the spine. Breathe in with a lift. Out to extend. Really lengthening the leg as you extend. 2 more combos. Your last one. And then hold. We're going to come down towards the floor. We're going to stay with the triceps and the rear deltoid. So good for our shoulder stability and our posture. Excuse me. So we're going to come into kneeling position. If you prefer, Martin, you can stay and do it standing. You don't have to go just yet. So if you are okay on your knees, left leg forward, elbow on your thigh, and if you're standing, same thing. You can just put the hand on the thigh and do the same movement. So knee over heel, lean forward so we've got the diagonal. From here, 1 row, bicep curl. So out to the side and then up towards the shoulder. So your elbow points to the floor here, and then your weight turns and comes towards the front of the shoulder. Elbow points to the floor, and then turn the weight into the shoulder. Nice long arm as you open. And as you open the arm, a little squeeze into the shoulder blade. Elbow under shoulder, and trying to keep the elbow aligned with the shoulder as the weight comes forward. Just makes it feel a little bit heavier. 2 more here. Your last one. And then holding the weight down. Pull the elbow back, shoulder back, sorry. Then pull your elbow up and come into your tricep extension. So as you're extending with the back of the arm, don't think about pushing it upwards. Just think about pushing it behind your hip. More important to keep your shoulder fixed and your upper arm still. Lean forward so you get the trunk of the body in this diagonal line, and you feel like you get the whole arm parallel to the ground. Breathe out on every extension, out through the mouth, in through the nose, chest nice and lifted. 3 to go. The last 2, strong squeeze, and your last one, and change sides. So right leg forwards. So nice long stride. Lean onto the front thigh, and don't let the shoulder drop, because that's what I want to naturally happen. So roll the shoulder back. We come out to the side, arm comes straight, and then turn to your shoulder. To the side, it's like a preacher curl. Elbow stays hanging down towards the floor, keeping the upper arm still. And we feel that rotation as we turn the weight into the shoulder. Engages a few more muscles in the upper arm. And again, don't forget your core, belly button gently to spine. Lengthening the back of the neck. So you should be looking forward at the screen. Chin slightly nodded in. Feel like you're pulling the crown of the head forward and gently pulling back with your tailbone. Trying to hold the shoulder in set position the whole time. So we don't want it to drop and we don't want it to lift. There's no momentum coming from anywhere else. It's all perfectly well controlled. Last time. Last bicep curl and lower the arm. Pull the elbow back and roll the shoulder back. So your elbow's fixed and then to your tricep kick back. So as you extend the arm, don't let the chest drop. Let it lift through the chest. You might find the shoulder wants to roll forward a little. So when you come to the centre, really roll the shoulder blade back down into the spine and then squeeze the arm out as straight as you can. Control it just back to the hip so it doesn't come any further forward than your hip. And that makes the triceps work even harder. 4 more to the top. Breathing out with each extension for 2 and your last one. and then resting. Right, come onto your back when you're ready. Excuse me. So as you roll down onto your back, tuck in your chin, take the weight overhead. We're going to walk the heels back, so we're going to come into I'm going to say plank, it's not a plank, it's a bridge. We want the shoulders away from the ears and both shoulders pressed into the ground. Rolling up through the spine when you're ready. Top of the hip bridge, a pull over, keeping the ribs down, and then just simply lower the hips. So this is where it begins. Just checking knees, stay in line with hips. So I like doing hip bridges because they're good for many reasons. We've got shoulder stability. We've got mobility through the spine as we roll up and down through the spine. And we've got strength and power coming into our glutes as we push up with the hips. And then we've got stability in our glutes as we keep the hips up while the arms reach back. And we can always make hip bridges harder by adding in knee lifts. So if you want to come with a knee lift, hold here, lift your right knee, add a pull over, lower the right knee, lift the left knee, add a pull over, place the left foot down and roll back down through the spine. So it means we get to use our glutes longer for stabilising. Smooth transition, so when you bring your right foot down, squeeze your right buttock before you lift your left leg and then roll back down slowly. So squeeze the bottom, keep the left buttock squeezed. As you bring the right foot down, squeeze the right buttock before you lift the left knee. And then of course, you can add in a leg extension if you want to. Stay with the feet on the floor if you prefer. So we can extend the leg out, in, place it down, out, in, place it down, roll down. So again, just checking on the chin. Keep the chin nodded in, so we've got that length again into the neck. And as you roll up and down through the spine, you're trying to get that lengthened feeling through the neck. So get to keep squeezing the bottom so the hips naturally want to sink as you move the leg and the arms. Twice more. So the whole back of the body working together, especially if you're keeping those shoulders pressed down into the ground. So you've got a nice strong base to push up through the shoulders. One more time. Now we're going to keep the left knee lifted. So hold here. Pull your weight down your hips halfway and push it for 8, 7. As you push the weight up, push the shoulders down. If you need less, just rest your left foot lightly on the floor. 2 more pushes with the hips. Down with the shoulders. Come down. Change legs. So when it comes to the top of the hip bridge, extend the arms, shoulders away from the ears. Halfway down and up. So your elbows and your bottom don't touch the floor. Elbows just slide to the ribs. Squeezing the left buttock for each push. 3 left, 2, and your 1. And then all down and rest. Take the weight into your right hand. Take the legs out, knees are about 90 degrees. Right shoulder away from the ear and press both shoulders and the ribs down towards the ground. Soften your right elbow. 1 single arm fly and 1 tricep press at the top. So when the weight comes out to the side, try and keep it in line with your mid-chest. So the weight's not coming up in line with the head. And then you'll feel that when you bring the arm out to the side, you can really focus on keeping your palm opened up towards the ceiling. Adding in the opposite leg. So lifting your knee above your hip. Leg extension. Breathing in as you lower, out with the left. Now if you've got your right foot here on the floor, keep it nice and light.
Or you can bring your right knee above your hip. If you brought the right knee up, just a little imprint of the lower back, and you're very focused on keeping that lower back towards the floor, even if it means not taking the arm or the leg as low. So again, trunk stability is what we're searching for. 2 more each side. The last one each way. And then hold. Bring the feet down. Take it to the left. Again, knees not too close. Shoulder away from the ear. Relax the elbow so you've constantly got that soft bend in the elbow, pinning the ribs down. And just trying to make sure, first of all, that your ribs and shoulders stay in set position as the weight moves out to the side. It's a little easier when you've got the feet down. Now, if you're happy your ribs and hips are staying in place, you can add in a leg extension. And again, move as slowly as you need to. Sometimes it's harder working slower, because everything's got to work a whole lot longer to stabilise the ribs, shoulders and the hips. And if you want more, left knee lifts. Now I definitely have to make that movement smaller as the arm comes out to the side if I'm keeping my back down. So brace before you open, and just find that bite point where the muscles switch on, back isn't lifting. You feel a little hold through your core as you're moving. As one leg moves, opposite leg stay nice and still. Once more each way. And then hold. Bring the feet down. Put the weight down. Bring your knees in. And we're going to take a roll over. Continuing with our core with some planks. Finish the week with some planks. So as we come into a plank position, arms stacked like so. And you're going to have your elbows underneath your shoulders and shoulders away from the ears. So we're not using our shoulders to stabilise when we come into our plank. So we'll keep the neck nice and long. Knees just a little bit wider than the hips. Toes tucked, and you can stay here. If you prefer, you can come up onto your toes. We're going to rotate to the front. So if you're on your knee, you turn onto the knee and you bring your elbow above your shoulder. Bring the knees back to the floor, and again turn to the same side. So bottom knee stays bent and your top leg straightens as you turn. Now you're trying to rotate your whole upper body as one unit. Pelvis squares to the floor, breathing out as you pull the shoulder blade back, and a breath in as you lower. Once more in this direction, and then we'll change to the opposite side. So if you're on your toes, when you turn, you'll come onto the edge of the feet, and then back onto the toes. Again, if you're on your knees, your bottom knee stays down, and your top leg straightens as you turn. And if the turn feels too much, you can just then hold your plank at any time. Breathing in as you roll down, breathing out the rise. One last time. And bring the knees down, sit back towards your heels. Stretch out the arms. Now from here, we're just going to do a little exercise, see how it feels for stretching and strengthening the back. So here we're in a stretch, hands stay forward. You're going to lower your chest to the floor and then squeeze the bottom and lift the chest. And then pull your hips back towards your heels, tucking in your chin. So your chest comes forward, down towards the ground, lift the chest up and squeeze the bottom. Then push back to your heels, so you go into flexion. And if that's too much, don't come too high. You can just come to here, or again, let's just squeeze the bottom, lifting the chest. Now when you lift your chest, you can press down through the toes and lift the thighs too. And then knees down and push back. So a couple more. Sweep forward, press into the hands, lift the thighs, and then push back onto the heels. One last time. Breathing in with the lift, and then breathing out to sit back. Stretch the arms forward. Make your right arm a little bit longer. Press it down to the floor. Release that right hand. Left arm a little longer, and press it down to the floor. Nice for the shoulders. When you're ready, release both hands. Come up into your box position. Tucking under with the toes. Lifting the heels, the hips. Lift the hips. Press your right heel back, bending your left knee. Just feeling the stretch in your right calf. Try and gently press your chest towards your thighs to get a nice stretch and release into the shoulders too. And then change legs. Left heel presses down. You can also try and lift your tailbone slightly up to the ceiling so you feel a little bit more stretch in the back of that left leg. And then lift the heel, walk the feet forwards, bending the knees, bringing the heels under the hips. You can bring your elbows and your thighs, or you can just stay here and relax. Let the neck relax. Make sure the knees are soft and bent, and then lifting belly towards the spine. Take a breath in when you're ready, and breathing out as you slowly restack the spine. Easing your way up through each vertebrae. And as you come to the top, nice strong posture. So heels back, knees to hips, a little squeeze to your bottom, and reach both arms up. Again, make your right arm longer than your left, so you feel your ribs lifting away from the hips, and then make your left arm longer. Keep pressing down through both heels, right arm longer, and your left arm longer. And then bring both hands down to your thighs, squeeze the bottom, relax the shoulders. Let the shoulders just drop down away from the ears. Let your body just naturally turn. You can even shake your ears if you want to, not relax. Yep. Once more each way. And then holding in the centre. Give the shoulders a shrug. Let them drop again. And again a lift. And a release. And well done, ladies and gents. Good work. Whew. Can't wait to be able to breathe properly again. We'll stop going so